Hey, what's going on? It's your boy back at you with another video. And tonight I want to talk about these two NBA playoff scam artists. I'm gonna talk about James Harden, Doc Rivers, and Joel Embiid. And I really think that it's laughable, that game yesterday. That just can't happen, man. That cannot happen. And the sad part about it is that fourth quarter, that third quarter, they quit. The Philadelphia 76ers quit yesterday on national TV. It was a total disgrace. In the words of Gilly the Kid, he said on Instagram, which I agree with him, that the 76ers, they got punked, they got raped, they got deboed. In the words he said, they got deboed yesterday. Jason Tatum destroyed them. He destroyed 51 points. He destroyed the Philadelphia 76ers. And where do the Philadelphia 76ers go from here? James Harden, are they going to bring him back? I wouldn't bring him back. Only guys I would keep on this team is Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. Everybody else is literally on the chopping block, including Doc Rivers. Because we just realized, let's just face it, Doc Rivers ain't that guy. You know, Doc Rivers always chokes in game sevens, man. He had the Clippers, he choked a couple of game sevens. And they had Lob City, they had CP3, and they had a great team, and he still couldn't get over the hump with the Clippers. And I just think it's time for Doc Rivers. Maybe, he can go get some college jobs. Maybe might be some high, he lives in the Orlando area, so maybe he can go get a couple of high school jobs or something. Maybe the NBA is just not for Doc Rivers, because this can't happen, man. This cannot happen, man. This cannot happen. That you had a 3-2 lead. That game 6, Jason Tatum had arguably, until the fourth quarter of game 6, he arguably shot. He had the worst. He was having the worst game of his career. You had the Celtics beat. What happened to Joel Embiid in game 6? He disappeared. James Harden disappeared. And what I don't understand about the NBA today, there's an old saying, you live by the 3, you die by the 3. Fourth quarter, all they kept shooting was a bunch of threes instead of going to the basket. And that's what the Celtics did in the fourth quarter of game 6. They started going to the basket. And before you know it, and I think Boston Celtics coach was telling Jason Tatum, just keep shooting. And no matter how much he bricked, he kept shooting and shooting in game 6. Let me get to my point. And he took over game 6. And I knew right then, I said, this series is over. I knew right then, I said, it's over. Because they broke their will. That game 6 was a will breaker. And then when game 7 came, it was I think it was 55 up in the third quarter. And then I've never seen a team play that bad in a game 7. I mean, the Philadelphia 76ers couldn't buy a bucket. They couldn't buy one. And that's when the Boston Celtics took advantage. Jaylen Brown got off, but Jason Tatum took over. He took over. He's a franchise player for a reason. Jason Tatum is a bad man. He broke Steph Curry playoff record. That only lasted 2 weeks. Shout out to Steph. Y'all know how I feel about Steph. But anyway, James Harden is a choke artist. Because he's been choking for years. He choked in Houston. Choked. 2 years in a row, they choked. They had a game and they choked in Miami last year. And it's just like they're just a bunch of scam artists. Scam artists. And you gotta also say that I didn't like those comments that Joel Embiid said in the press conference when he said that other guys got to step up. What do you mean? You're the leader. You and James Harden are the faces of the franchise. You should have took over that game in Game 7. You come up short, but you just sit up there. And that's the thing I don't like about Joel Embiid. He always making excuses. You're an MVP. You won the MVP of the league. They heard you crying about the MVP, so they finally give it to you. And you're the only MVP that did not advance to a conference finals. How embarrassing is this? What do the Philadelphia Sixers do go from here? Tobias Harris, what happened to him? He disappears all the time. But, Joel Embiid, he makes excuses. James Harden disappeared. He'll be 34 in August. Are you going to bring him back? And he's a great player in the regular season. But in the postseason, it just shows, there's an old saying. When people show you who they are, believe them the first time. That's James Harden. James Harden disappears in playoff games. Like he did against the Warriors in Game 6 in 2019. No KD. They had the Houston Rockets had the perfect time to win that series. And he chokes. Like he choked in that Spurs series. Game 6, choke. Miami last year, choked. Yesterday in Boston, choked. I just think that they're scam artists, man. These guys are scam artists, man. They regular season champions. And if you don't, I'm just saying, like, Joel Embiid got to understand that when you're the league MVP, you're going to get the best out of everybody. Everybody's gunning for you. So they're going to play you harder. And it's just, that effort, that was horrible. I mean, they were up by 30 points. 30 points, man. And then you had Ben Simmons out there trolling. Oh, that was funny, man. He showed the score when they were down by 30. Humiliated, man. They got humiliated. They got punked on TV. They got literally punked on TV. But I'm just saying, like, an NBA team, any NBA team, do not waste your time on James Harden. He is a waste of time, man. He's a great player. He's a con man. He gives you 23 points a game. He'll give you 9 assists. He'll give you 8 rebounds. He'll shoot a little. He shoot threes, and he's a great free throw shooter. He's a great basketball player. But when it comes down to the postseason, he disappears like Mr. David Copperfield. You know how David Copperfield used to do those tricks years ago? It was absolutely embarrassing. I thought that was the worst game I ever seen in my life. And Philadelphia have nobody to blame but themselves. They had their Game 6. They had the Celtics they had them on the ropes. They was getting ready to quit. and Joel Embiid disappeared. You're supposed to be the MVP. And then he says on the podium, well, we need somebody else. Other guys have to step up. And I'm looking at him like, are you serious, man? You and James Harden disappeared yesterday. And it was that's just unacceptable. And it's got a lot of hurt Philadelphia 76er fans out here. Because I was pulling for Joel Embiid. I want him to get to a conference finals. I like Doc Rivers, man. I don't want to see Doc Rivers lose. But it just... Jason Tatum just went on another level. That dude is on another level, man. Then you got Jaylen Brown. It's just Marcus Smart makes timely plays. You got Broden out there. Malcolm coming off the bench. Broden. I don't know how to say his name. You got Al Horford playing defense. You got Robert Williams. This is a tough team. I honestly think they could win it all. I mean, who can stop Jason Tatum, man? When he feels like playing, nobody can stop this guy. Look what he did to the Philadelphia 76ers yesterday. I mean, that was just absolutely embarrassing. And that's embarrassing. And it's like they're in the conference finals again. I think the Celtics will eventually get a championship. Eventually. It's just a matter of time because they're just too good. And it's just like, Marcus Smart just he does the little things. Jaylen Brown they better hold on to Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, man, that boy's special. Him and Tatum. Tatum. I was amazed the way Tatum was. I'm like, damn, Tatum is going crazy. Cause I seen that game 6, and he just started going crazy. I'm like, damn, this dude is crazy, bro. But the Philadelphia 76ers, man, I'm surprised Doc Rivers ain't fired yet. When are they gonna fire this guy? He can't lead you. He can't lead you to a conference finals. Because look at this, right? What make it so funny, right? He was with the Clippers all those years, and they could never get to the conference finals. But in Tyronn Lue's first year as with the Clippers, they went to the conference finals, even though they lost to the Suns in 6. But they got to the conference finals. Even Tyronn Lue got to the conference finals with the Clippers. He can't get to the conference finals. And it's just time. I think Philadelphia, they need to let Doc Rivers go. But I'm going to say this again, man. Beware of these scam artists. These dudes are scam artists, man. Joel Embiid and James Harden are scam artists. They play great in the regular season. They'll win 54 games for you. They'll go to All-Star games. They'll do all of that. But postseason, he disappeared. James Harden disappeared. And Joel Embiid need to stop all this other guys. No, you have to step up. You're supposed to carry them. Look what Jason Tatum did yesterday. He carried them. Jaylen Brown putting a little bit of work yesterday, going to the basket. Jason Tatum put the team on his back. That's what a franchise player does. And Jason Tatum, he got to be one of the best players in the NBA. He's got to be in that conversation. That game yesterday was iconic. It was legendary. And they destroyed the Philadelphia 76ers. And Joel Embiid looked lost. Joel Embiid didn't demand the ball. And the thing is, right, you're down by 30 points. You're not mad. You're supposed to be on the sidelines. You're supposed to be pissed. It's like he didn't care. You hugging all the Boston players? Really? They beat you by 30 points? 30, they had you up by 30. And you don't, man, Joel Embiid, man, got to get some heart, man. But tell me what y'all think, man. Don't beware of these scam artists, James Harden and Joel Embiid. They're a bunch of scam artists. They regular season players. They play great in the regular season, but in the postseason, they disappear. They do it every year. Tell me what y'all think. I'm out.